Hang on 1 second. We're going to roll here in just a second. Sending this out to TikTok. Social media. Hang on. Almost ready. Almost ready. All right, give me a second. Let me text my wife real quick that I'm going live and we'll start. All right, I think we're good. Y'all ready?
Yeah. Woo.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
All right. Welcome back. eSIM Studios YouTube channel. We're live on YouTube. We're live on TikTok. Sorry for the late start. Had to get all freshened up, cleaned up. It was, I think I got up to 105. It was hot. I don't even know. So I uploaded like 3 videos this morning in regards to the Pixel. And I recorded another overheating video. I'm not sure if I'm going to post it though. Pretty bad. The Pixel 10 Pro actually bit the dust really freaking fast. Like within a minute or two, like shut off. I think it was within 2-3 minutes, like just completely shut off. The Pixel 11 Pro XL did a little better than, it kept on giving me warnings and kept on, progressing as time went on, as more heat went on. I took some screenshots when I was done. So the 11 Pro didn't actually shut down, but essentially everything, all the features, all the functionality shut down. And I took screenshots of just how hot it was. And the Pixel, where's my phone? Okay, check this out. So the Pixel 11 Pro, internal temperature 121 degrees Fahrenheit. 121. I think that's the hottest I've ever gotten any one of the phones. I was like, all right, let me let me call it quits before something happens. But it didn't shut down, but the camera app progressively shut down as time went on, as it got hotter. We do have a guest. So Green 9227, if you're listening, give me just a second. We'll bring you on board. And if you want to join, the link to join is in the chat. I think it's pinned at the top, and it's also in the description box. So Pixel 11 Pro XL 121. Yikes. Pixel 10 Pro 115. That's when it shut down. And then get this, the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra got 119 degrees internally. I didn't get notified that the device was too hot. It didn't shut down, no camera features. I didn't lose camera features or anything. It's pretty impressive. I was recording with the iPhone 17 Pro, kept on recording. So it's just kind of like an eye opener, and we'll discuss here in just a minute. And I have another issue on the Pixel 11 Pro XL, but it's one of those things where it's like, I hate to not recommend it to people, because look, let's take everything out. Let's take everything out of the equation. If it was a normal phone, like you could actually take outside and take photos and videos with, I actually like it. if everything was okay, like if everything was fine with it, I think I could use it and, enjoy it. But I certainly can't use it and or even recommend it if I'm having all these issues with it, because the Samsung is fine. Even in 104, 105 degree weather, iPhone, fine. And here's the thing. And yeah, you can use the Pixel inside, take that messaging issue I have out of the equation. Let's just say the messaging was fine, but it still gets hot and still gives you that notification when you're recording video and taking pictures, right? Well, what if you go outside? What if you work outside? What if you're a construction worker? What if you're a truck driver? What if you're a surveyor? What if you do you're a field technician? What if you have a kid in school, right? Football season is right around the corner. What if your kid plays high school football? How are you going to sit in the stands and record him playing football when your phone essentially shuts down, and or at the very least the camera app shuts down? And I started getting those warnings after just a couple of minutes outside. So it's like, and look, I know, I don't know if it affects everybody. That's why I want your input. But it's happened on multiple YouTubers' Pixels, yet they don't say anything about it. Now, that brings up a whole nother issue, a whole nother opening up a can of worms, because why aren't they saying anything? Now, Techspert, the little scrawny, I don't know what he is, Scottish, English, whatever. He mentioned it in his video, right? So I do believe if you're a YouTuber and this does pop up on your screen when you're reviewing it, when you're doing a photo and or video review, you got to say something. I mean, I don't expect you probably to go in as hard as I am going in on this overheating thing, but you got to mention it. Now, what's that other girl's name? Becca Francesa or whatever. You all know who I'm talking about. She did a whole camera review and actually included screenshots of like different night shot features. And you could see that notification at the top of her screenshot, yet she never said anything. So I know it's happening. Look, it has to have happened to more than just me and 2 other YouTubers. No, it happened to, it happened to 3 other YouTubers and then me. So 4 total, at least from what I've seen. It's got to be more than that, no? I mean, maybe not. Maybe I have a bad unit, but that's what I'm trying to hammer out before my return window is up, because at this moment, I'm going to send it back. However, there's a small possibility that I just try to get an exchange unit. Who's to say that one's still the same? I have no clue. And the whole text messaging thing is a whole nother conundrum, because to explain that, and we're gonna bring Green 9227. I know he's sitting in the back. Hang on one second. We'll pull you up on the panel. And if you want to join, please be my guest. You certainly can. I'm not going to be on here for a long time because it is kind of late already. But let me explain this text messaging thing. So when I first got this phone, I automatically got it from Verizon eSIM, right? Well, I noticed a couple hours after getting it, I was like, oh, well, I'm sending some photos to it, and it will send text messages outbound, but it can't receive messages inbound. And this is not just my Pixel on the 11 Pro XL. My wife on her 11 Pro has a similar but different issue. Her RCS is not working. When you type in happy birthday, it gives you that screen animation. Oh, yay, happy birthday. Nothing. And the emojis don't work. The animated emojis, when you send a smiley face to somebody, it'll continually do this over and over and over. Does not show up on hers. Now, is it an isolated issue? I don't know. But a third phone in our kind of family, her brother, my brother-in-law, his messaging is jacked up. So what the hell is going on? Like, And we're all three on different networks, because at first you'd be like, oh, well, it's just a network issue, right? Just call T-Mobile, call Verizon. Well, all three devices are on three different networks. Mine's on Verizon, hers is on T-Mobile, my brother-in-law, his is on Google Fi. So if it happened, if it was just on one device, I'd be like, okay, well, just get on the phone, call T-Mobile, and they'll have it sorted out, right? Because we did that. They haven't been able to fix anything. We even issued her a new eSIM. They deleted that one. Okay. New eSIM. Nothing. Factory reset your phone. Same issue. So it's like, dude, what is going on with these freaking Pixels? This is the worst launch I can remember. Maybe y'all can help me out, but I don't remember it. Minus the exploding phone. Yes, I would say that one's pretty bad, but maybe since then, right? This is the worst launch since the exploding Note 7. But it's just like issue after issue. And I think, let me shut up and bring up our guest, but I think the overheating thing can be fixed. Now they're going to have to scale down the CPU. They're going to have to scale it down to make it not as powerful, but that brings up another issue. So if you scale it down like Apple did with the iPhone 16 series, the 16 Pro, 16 Pro Max, those overheated, was it the 15 or the 16? I think it was the 16. When those first launched, big time overheating. Well, they pushed out an update to fix it. They just reworked the thermals, right? Thermal management. Essentially, they'll ramp it down so it doesn't generate a lot of heat. Well, if Google does the same thing, the Tensor G6 is already I'm not going to say weak, but it's already pretty far behind the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 and behind the A19 Bionic chip that's in the iPhone 17 Pro. It's already way behind. So if they scale it down even more, that means it's gonna be even weaker. Now, I know there's more that goes into that, right? But I'm kind of at a loss of words. I don't know. That's why I need your input. So if you're watching this, let me know. If you have a Pixel, let me know something. Hey, mine's good to go, no issues here. Okay, well, maybe it's just a small number of Pixels that have this issue. Or if a lot of y'all are having the same issues, that didn't look good. I'm trying to figure out what to do. So let's see here. Hang on one second. Let me pull up our guest. Let's see here. Oh, and I have some Samsung stuff that I might try to get into if I have enough time. You've had many Pixels. I had many Pixels, even 10. Pixel 10 had issues and bugs, but with a few updates, they finally worked it out. And that's the thing. We don't know. Look, I'm sure they will push updates to address issues, and that's a common thing, right? For Samsung, oh, something's messed up at launch, well, let's push an update, or over the next 2 to 3 months, if an issue arises, they'll put a fix and a security patch, patch it in there in an update. When is it going to get fixed? That's the other thing. If I hang on to this phone, or let's say you, right? Because I know a lot of people don't have a ton of phones. A lot of people just have one phone. But that's why this is so important, because I don't want you to make the wrong decision. And again, I'm not saying all the Pixels are jacked up, but mine certainly is. And right, my wife's with the messaging, my brother-in-law with the messaging, like something's going on here. I just don't know when it'll get fixed. Are you gonna have to deal with this for the next 3 months and wait, twiddle your fingers, because once you get past that return window, you're screwed. Now I'm assuming you could try to file a warranty claim, but that's not easy. They don't. I mean, look, I'm not going to speak for Google, but from my experience, trying to get stuff fixed under warranty is not, it can be a rough road to go down. I think they said all limits and taxes. Could be. Maybe it's a manufacturing issue. I don't know. Could it be a settings issue on the messaging? Trust me, my wife she's on top of that. So if she can't figure it out, it's nobody can. She, as much as I know about phones and technology, she knows more. So she's been it's been driving her crazy. She's tried everything, literally everything. All right, Daniel, appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. Yeah, Techspert. Yeah, he's a he makes his reviews entertaining, right? That's what I'm thinking. You might have left, but it might be a bad unit. That's why I think I have 30 days. I got mine through Verizon. In the fine print said I had 30 days. So I'm gonna try to use all 30 days. But oh, nice. Okay. Well, look. If not today, speaking of, let me pull up our guest. If not today, look, we got a lifetime, so no rush. If you can't make it today, you can always join us next weekend, or shit, I might even open it up during the week if we get a lot of people. Okay, so let me do this. Sorry for keeping you, Mr. Green 9227. Give me 1 second. Let me take this off. Let me put this up here. Yo, you there?
Can you hear me?
I certainly can. What's going on, man? You want me to refer to you as Green 9227?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. So what's going on, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Pretty good. Just hanging in there. I just had to get had spent a long afternoon outside, and not only was I doing testing the phone with the heating stuff, but you know, our yards are like friggin' toast out here. So I was making sure my trees were watered, my grass had a little water on top. So, ooh, it's hot outside. But where do you live?
I live in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, you do too? Oh, so you know exactly what I'm dealing with over here. Yeah. So talk to me. Did you get one of these pixels? And if you did, what is yours normal?
So I
Are you a
got
Pixel user?
I got a unlocked Pixel 11 Pro from the Google store, and I've been testing it, and I've had no issues. I've been watching your videos, but I have not
Hmm.
encountered any of the issues that you've been
Really?
showing on video.
No way. So I'm assuming you've taken yours outside, obviously.
Yes, that's correct. I've been doing some cellular testing and everything, and
Hmm.
I've been very impressed with the performance. It's been doing better than
Wow.
the Qualcomm.
Interesting. So now I'm wondering if I have a bad unit. I guess. I mean, the messaging. What about messaging? Have you had any issues with your messages?
No, I have not. I've been testing it between my S26 Ultra and the Pixel to see if I have
Huh.
any issues. Replicate what you're having, and I have no issues.
Wow. Man, that is shocking. Well, I guess that at least answers one of my questions. Um, wow. Well, how do you like it other than that? You said pictures are good. How's the battery life?
The battery life is pretty good. I still think the S26 Ultra has better battery life overall, but I'm very happy with the software experience and stuff. The text to speech, I mean, the voice to text is very top class.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't even really messed with mine with all the features. Um, I plan on doing that here probably, I don't know, at some point this week. I've just been so consumed with shooting videos, and I have a case review I gotta upload, and I got a screen protector thing that I gotta upload. So yeah, I'll probably mess with all the AI features and stuff like that here, probably this week. What is your experience with Pixels in the past? Have you been a Pixel user from the very start, or did you just jump
Uh,
on them maybe a year or two ago?
well, my first Pixel was a Pixel 7.
Huh. And you've had everyone. No, I take that back. You said you got the S26. Have you had every model since then?
I've skipped generations. I had the 7, and then I had the 9A, and then I upgraded to the 11 Pro.
Wow. Yeah, that's a nice jump from going from pixel wise, going from the 9A to the 11 Pro. Yeah, and I have speaking of performance, you mentioned that earlier. I have a performance test video that I recorded, and it's obviously, now again, I gotta put a disclaimer out there. Every time I mention benchmark scores, everybody wants to jump down my throat. It's not all about benchmark. I get that, right? But just like cars, I mentioned earlier, when you go buy a new Corvette or any, there's always that 0 to 60 time, the quarter mile time. It's a reference point, essentially. It did a little better than I thought. It's still, and again, I'll upload it probably tomorrow. It's still behind the Snapdragon and the MediaTek chips, but I do see the improvement. It's just, well, on mine, the thermals are obviously a little bit concerning, but I do see that performance jump. Can you tell?
Yes, I can. I mean, like I said, I'm lucky not to have the same issues as you are having, but yes, I did notice the difference.
And what do you do mostly on your phone? Do you play games? Do you edit videos, or just use it as a general device?
I just use a general device.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, well, it sounds like I got a bad unit. So there was a couple other people that commented under some videos of mine that said theirs was okay. So I think you're maybe the second or third person that says theirs is fine. And of course, I don't know, when you're somebody like in my shoes, I don't know if somebody's trolling me. There's no way to prove it, right? So I'm like, are they just telling me that? Or, I have no clue. But I'll definitely take your word for it. So I guess my next step would be getting in touch with Verizon, since I purchased it through them. How's your reception?
It's been great. It's been great. I wonder if maybe because you got it from the Verizon store and I got it straight from the Google store, if that made any difference in quality. I mean, it should be the same, but I don't know if maybe that be a factor.
Yeah, it should be. It technically should, but I mean, at this point, I guess everything's on the table. What I'll probably do is do another factory reset here tonight and test it again tomorrow. So I don't think I'm gonna upload even though I spent a couple hours outside today, I don't think I'm gonna upload that second overheating video, because it's essentially the same video, just recorded twice. It does not do good. So I mean, I don't want to sit there and beat a dead horse by putting, another video out there like that. What I'll do is I'll probably factory reset it tonight, probably test it tomorrow, although I probably won't record it. I'll just test it for my personal knowledge. And then if it still overheats and gives me all those messages and shuts down, you're right, I'll probably reach out to Verizon and see, either return it or get a replacement device. I don't know. The interesting thing is that my S20. Oh yeah, before I move on, how is your reception as far as with that new modem that's in here?
I tested on millimeter wave on Verizon, and I was getting about a gig faster than my S26 Ultra. I was getting about almost 5 gigs down, and the Ultra was getting about 3.7, and double and on the Pixel it was double on the upload. But I did notice that the uplink though has been inconsistent on the MediaTek modem though.
How do you get such good speeds? Are you near a tower?
I'm near a tower near the Frostbank Center.
Okay, because
where the Spurs play.
Yeah, I know exactly where that tower's at, because there's some applications I use what is it? Open Signal, and it'll show you where the towers are located, right? And it'll show you what tower you're connected to and all that stuff. When I got my when I chose Verizon as the sole network provider, there were, I think, and I zoomed in, I zoomed out, I moved left, I moved right, I did all this stuff. I was like, this can't be right. It only showed me 2 towers. I know that can't be right. Yeah, I'm like, 2 towers in the entire city? Like that doesn't seem right. Now, if I switch to T-Mobile, there's like freaking 60. It's probably why I get really good T-Mobile speeds, but that's really good on Verizon. Your speeds are really good.
Yeah, well, does it show small cells? Because there's a lot of small cells. I don't know if Open Signal shows small cells.
I don't think it does. I think it only shows the big ones that we're used to seeing, like on towers. I think you're right. That's probably it. That's probably exactly what it is. Because somebody else posted, I forgot what YouTube channel it was. Maybe it was Sneed Mobile. He does a lot of his YouTube channel. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. He basically has a tech channel, but he focuses on like network stuff, right? Like T-Mobile, Verizon, device, stuff like that. And he had, on his Verizon Pixel 11 Pro, he got insane speeds, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing wrong? Because I'm getting like go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Actually,
No,
he was put.
Please be my guest. I'll shut up.
Actually, those results are actually from my speed test.
Oh, that was you.
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
Okay, that was you. Okay. Damn, that is insane. I know exactly. Yeah, because I was watching that video, or I was listening to it after I was done recording and then doing yard work. I think it was just an autoplay because I subscribed to his channel, and he mentioned somebody that got insane speed. So that was you. Wow. That is crazy, man. Those are insane speeds. Like, I think I've cracked 1 gig download maybe one time in my life, and I thought that was insane. But what'd you say? You just got 4 gigs download speed?
It was almost 5. And I feel that if I would have had a overeating issue, it would have been then, because that is really straining on the processor and everything. But no problems.
Wow. That is that is crazy. Well, now what does your Samsung do? I'm assuming you had the S26 Ultra on Verizon at some point.
Yes, that's correct. What I did notice is that even though the Qualcomm was getting slower speeds, it was more consistent with upload. Like it was staying around 315, 330, where like the MediaTek processor would go from anywhere from like 150 to like 600. It was very variable.
Wow. Yeah, that's really impressive. And I know, especially you coming from, I guess you saying your last Pixel was a 9A, a huge difference, right? In network performance.
Yes, definitely improvement on the modem. I was not very impressed with the Samsung modem, so I'm glad they did switch to MediaTek, because I didn't feel like they were very competitive against Qualcomm.
Yeah, I felt the same way. And I've had outside of Pixel, I've had, I think, one other device with an Exynos modem, and that was I had an S23FE briefly, which I think used Exynos, and then before that it was like the S7 Edge Plus or whatever the hell those things are called. This was years ago, but outside of Pixel, that was essentially the only Exynos modem-based device that I use. Now, I think they improved moving to the 10 series from the 9, but it still wasn't. They just didn't make that jump, that leap that they did this year, because there's no way a Pixel 10 series would achieve those same scores with the Exynos modem. I guess theoretically it could, but in real world usage and or testing, I doubt it would get close to that,
What's your thoughts
So
on the future of the Pixel?
the future of the Pixel.
Pixel, yes, like just in general, like where do you see it going?
Um, see, I think I have like a love-hate relationship with them. I love Pixel, and I've had every single one, even going back to Nexus, and they take fantastic photos. Just taking photos with this and videos, like once I started taking pictures with this Pixel 11 Pro XL, when I went to go back and review the footage and the photos, my jaw hit the floor. I was like, whoa, you can tell that this is on a whole nother level when it comes to photography. However, that's where the love relationship comes in, but I hate it because I feel like they're just so close to having like a badass device, one that I can stick in my pocket and not have to worry about anything. That's why I like the Samsung. The S26 Ultra. Yeah, it doesn't have the very best cameras, but I'm okay with the quality of the cameras just because everything else is so good, right? But going back to the Pixel, uh, I don't know at this point. Like, yeah, it helps their sales because essentially the government is blocking out all other non-US phones. I know Samsung's not technically a US phone, but you know, uh, but essentially our only options if you want to officially purchase a phone from a company is what Apple, Samsung, Google, and then obviously nothing. But I'm putting them to the side because I can't take them serious if all you're going to be working on is T-Mobile. So yeah, reducing our number of options theoretically should give them a higher should help them in sales is what I'm trying to get at. But my experience with this has been horrible personally. So I just don't know. And part of me hates uploading bad videos about a phone, like so many videos, one after another, because it looks like, uh, uh, I don't want people to buy it, or, people think I'm telling them it's a bad phone, because I know there's people like you and other people out here that have no issues whatsoever. So I'm kind of like walking a fine line with kind of like what I'm choosing to upload, and the best practice is just be honest. So that's kind of what I'm doing, but I don't know where they're going to go. Like, I guess they're still going to continue. I would like to see their market share here in the next quarter, this upcoming year, to see if it increases, because in the last couple of years their market share has been increasing. However, the last report that I got, and I didn't say anything on the YouTube channel because I just forgot, but their market share decreased. Now, I don't know if that's going to continue as time goes on. It looks like this Pixel, I've been seeing more hate for this launch of Pixel out of any launch I've ever seen in my life. It's crazy. I'm like, where did all these people come from? But I get why they're complaining, because obviously the base model reduction in RAM, you have to spend more money to buy or to get more RAM. So I get why they're hating on it. I just don't, and their sales aren't public. So as far as the Pixels go, now Centerpoint Research Group puts out pretty, I would say, accurate or close estimates on sales. So I'm anticipating in the next few months, a report on this quarter to see how many devices they sold, where their market share is at, because I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It could go either way. I can see people not buying this phone in general, or I can see people buying it because the government's essentially cornered the market for only a handful of manufacturers. So, and I'm just talking about in the United States, right? Japan, they're huge in Japan. The Pixels are. I have no idea why. And they're big in some other parts of the world. But I don't know. It's just I want to like the phone, but it looks like to me I'm gonna have, if factory resetting doesn't work, I'm gonna see if I can get an exchange unit, because if all things were normal, I think I would use it. And my plan was to use it to take pictures and videos for the YouTube channel and personally, and then I don't know. continue on as usual. But Motorola, yes. How could I forget Motorola? You're right. And we will talk about the new Graphene OS phone that Motorola is going to sell here. And they did mention it's not going to be in 2026. It's going to be 2027. So I can't wait to see what that. Oh, did you hear? They made a statement. In fact, let me pull that up. They made a statement, the Graphene OS people, and they said this upcoming Motorola phone is going to be, I think, what they say, quote unquote, more premium than a Pixel. What does that mean? More premium? Does that mean more expensive? Pixel's pretty premium. I mean, it's a nice phone. It's a decent phone. Like, they don't cut short on the materials they build it from. So I kind of looked at that comment with a raised eyebrow. Like, what do you mean more premium? It's pretty premium as is, no? So, do you have any interest in that new Graphene phone?
Me personally, no. I would like to make a comment about something earlier about the Nothing 4A Pro, like you brought up. For me, I've tested it, and T-Mobile worked fine. AT&T worked fine. It was slower than my Samsung or my Google Pixel, but it was usable. And then Verizon, I was able to get a workaround to get it to work. And as long as I was in like the city or something like that, it was working fine.
Damn. I may have to hit you up to to see what that workaround was. Well, I don't have it now, but I'm saying in the future.
Yeah. I can tell you if you want me to right now.
Yeah, go ahead. I know I have subscribers that have that phone, so yeah, please.
Yeah, so basically what you have to do is to get around the IMEI block, like I watched in your video of it not activating, you have to get a physical SIM and activate it into an approved device, and then you pop out the SIM after it's active on the approved device, and you can transfer it over to the Nothing 4A Pro, and it works.
Got you. See, I did that with, not with the 4A Pro. I did that with the 3A. I uploaded, the video's still up there. I did that with a 3A whenever that was launched. That exact same thing. But about a month or 6 weeks later, they eventually kicked me off the network or sent me a notification saying device not compatible or whatever. And I was like, oh my God. Now maybe that's changed. Like I said, from today, it's probably been 36 months or, you know what I'm saying? It's been a while. So maybe something has changed, but I was like, oh God.
Well, I think what's different is this device is being officially sold in the US. The 3A wasn't. That was in the beta program.
Correct. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So maybe it will work. I think I'm going to take a break on Nothing phones unless something changes. And with me too, Wi-Fi 7 is a big deal. I'm not sure if you have Wi-Fi 7. I think you do, right? Didn't you mention that on another show on last week? You do have Wi-Fi 7, correct?
Yeah, yes, that's correct. That's part of the reason why I upgraded my Pixel 9a, because I wanted to take advantage of Wi-Fi 7.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. But unfortunately, the 4A Pro, and I didn't realize that. I bought it just thinking it it had Wi-Fi 7, but no, it didn't. So that's, among other things, the network connectivity stuff. That's kind of why I returned mine. It was just like, well, whatever. We'll have to see what happens with Nothing. I know the Phone 3, their quote-unquote flagship phone, offers Wi-Fi 7, but it'll be interesting to see where they go to as far as phone sales with the Ramageddon, right? It'd be interesting to see if I could jump forward, time travel 5 years in the future. It would be really interesting to see in the tech world, like, what has changed. Is Nothing not selling phones? Is Motorola not selling phones? Or You know what I'm saying? I can certainly see one or two big changes. 5 years is a lifetime in the tech world. Like stuff literally changes overnight in the tech world. So 5 years, and we still might not be out of this whole RAM shortage. So it's an interesting time, and I don't know what's going to happen. What do you
Yeah.
think? What are your thoughts on the RAM shortage?
I mean, I kind of find it ironic that Google's, citing the RAM shortage, but they're part of the problem.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty ironic. Yeah, I know.
And
Go ahead.
yeah, and for nothing, that I had so many people ask me what that phone is. Like it was ridiculous. And when I would talk to customer service, they would look at me like I was crazy. They didn't know what I was
Mhm.
talking about.
Yep, I had the same thing when I called them. They were like, "What phone is that?" And they're like, "What did you say?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know, I know, I know." I had the same thing. Yeah, and for the short time that I had it, that's right. I had a number of people saying, "Oh, is that the new iPhone?" And I'm like, "Really?" I was like, "No, no, it's a nothing phone." Like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know, it's nothing." It's interesting. I wish them well, and I hope they do well. But I have to keep on reminding myself that no phone is perfect. There's always a like there was always compromises with these phones. Even the Samsung, which I use as my daily driver. There's always, the photo quality. It's better than it used to, but it's not on Pixel level. The charging got a little faster, but it's not on OnePlus level. You know, one thing I am noticing um, with this Pixel though is the battery life. Did you say you were getting good battery life?
Yeah, I've been having a good battery life. I didn't watch your video on the charging and having the official charger and everything. I I use a Ugreen charger and I'm getting full speed, so I don't know
Really
what's going on with that.
interesting. U Green. Okay, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
I'll remember that. I have a couple other products over here. I'll have to remember that and see if I can grab one.
Well, yeah,
Well, I already
the,
have the
the
official charger, but I might recommend that for viewers.
yeah, the thing is though, since I have a Pixel 11 Pro, I don't get 45. It's only 30 watts.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. That is correct. Yeah, and you also your extreme charging I feature works on your phone, correct?
Yes, it does. It does work. I know a lot of people are reporting that it doesn't work,
Yeah.
isn't working, but mine has worked from day one.
Damn, that is so crazy. Cause look, check this out. It doesn't work on my phone. It doesn't work on my wife's phone or my brother-in-law's phone. And we were all kind of just was it yesterday? We were all saying like, what the hell is what is going on? Like I'm just sitting over here clueless. Like, am I doing something wrong? Is there something in the settings? Um, my wife's on Reddit more than I am in the Pixel thread, and she's mentioned to me that there's a no. Yeah, like earlier today she mentioned that there's a number of people that it's not working for. So, I look, that can be fixed with an update. I get that. Obviously, if it works for you, at some point theoretically it should work for me. I just don't know why it works for some people and for others it doesn't. I wish they were a little more transparent because we're not. And maybe you've seen them make a statement, and they probably don't want to because they want to sell devices. But there's a lot of people like myself that are having all these issues that are throwing their hands up. Um, I don't know. Sometimes I just and look. Some people aren't as technically inclined as you and I or the viewers, and they'll just return it and say screw it, let me go back to an iPhone, or I'll just go with a Samsung. And then people that do that are more than likely not going to use a Pixel again in the future. So I wish they would at least come out and you don't even look, Google doesn't even have to mention anything of any one specific issue. They can just say, where our next update is going to include bug fixes and improvements. And trust me, we'll catch the drift. But I mean, nothing. So
you mentioned earlier about one of your family members or someone on Google Fi. Doesn't that use the T-Mobile network?
it does. Yeah, my brother-in-law has Google Fi. Yep. Yeah, it sure does, and he's been in contact. They offered an exchange, so he's going to return his for another one. And I'm starting to think, I think all three of us, me and my wife and my wife's brother, my brother-in-law, I think we're all three gonna have to get an exchange unit. My wife and my brother-in-law have 14 days to return and or exchange, and I think we're on day 4, so we got like 10. They have like 10 days left. I have a 30-day refund or exchange or cancel service policy with Verizon. And I know if my stuff doesn't get worked out here in the next week, I'll probably just go ahead and exchange something. I probably won't even wait 30 days. I'll probably just go ahead and I'll give it this week. And if nothing gets done, I'll probably do an exchange, because I sure, like I mentioned, I sure would like for this to work. I like the phone, and it's just very frustrating when stuff doesn't work right as advertised. So,
What is your thoughts on devices going eSIM only, and what do you think
I
of
hate it.
why you do?
Yeah, I get why they're doing it. I see why they're doing it, right? It's cost effective for them. You can put a slightly bigger battery in your phone. It's one less component, a SIM tray that they have a part number for, and it cuts down on pollution, quite frankly. Because if you think of how many SIM cards there are out there, I'm talking about physical SIM cards. It's plastic, it's metal. People. I know it's a small item, but there's got to be billion SIM cards out there. So it makes sense. And I get it. In 10 years, everything's going to be eSIM. Samsung, nothing. Motorola. Everybody's going to convert to eSIM. I get that. It's just, I wish it was an easier process switching to it. I don't think you would see a lot of people push back on the whole eSIM thing if it was just easier to convert to or transfer to. And they're making strides. They are. I've seen the progression of eSIM. I just hate it when they go eSIM only. But I guess us as users are going to have, they're all going to switch to eSIM whether we like it or not. I just wish they would make it a little easier on the users as far as transferring to and from a device. The one thing I don't like about it, I go through a lot of phones. I know if you just have one phone and that's all you use, no big deal. But I got multiple phones here. Stuff, you can't switch an eSIM when your phone is dead. Now I know you can plug it in 5 minutes you can have it back on, but what if you're out of the house? Little things like that I guess don't really, it'll trip you up if you find yourself in a bind. You go camping, you go hiking, God forbid you get in a car accident and you go off the side of a road and nobody sees you. That's a very small percentage of time, honestly, but I just wish they would make it a little more easier. I know Apple and actually with this Pixel 11 series, they've implemented some kind of eSIM feature that makes it easier switching to and or from an Apple iPhone with an eSIM. It would benefit everybody. It would benefit us, the users, if they made it easier and faster. It would benefit these manufacturers if they made it easier and faster. So I think everybody would win. I just think the hard thing about moving this forward and progressing with eSIM is it's hard to get everybody on the same page. It's hard. Apple wants to go off and do their own thing, and they've been very successful at that. But they don't really want to communicate with the Android world. They want to, block us out. And it sucks, quite frankly. The users are the ones that lose all the time. So if we could get everybody on the same page, and even the companies like Motorola, if and when they switch to eSIM, they got to implement something in Android code and iOS code that all these manufacturers, Android manufacturers, can use, where switching to an iPhone or vice versa back to an Android is seamless. Because right now it's gotten better, but it's just not seamless, and that's what bugs me about it. What do you think?
So I am I'm all for eSIM only. Personally, I know I may not have the majority opinion, but I'm ready to go eSIM only. My interesting thing or observation I've noticed is I'm wondering why the Pixel 11 Pro Fold has kept the SIM card tray and the rest have got removed. I haven't seen any official statement for Google why that is. I didn't know if you have any speculation on that.
No, I think I don't, to be honest with you. I personally think, I'm not, and I'm just guessing, it probably has to do with something internally, but but see, that might not even make sense, because it's got a lot of surface area in there. It's essentially two phones glued together, right? Well, attached together. But yeah, you're right. I don't have any clue why. You would think there would be a reason for that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm all for eSIM, going eSIM only, because it's just more secure. It's, like you mentioned, it's better for the environment. And we have been seeing good progress on, now Google, Samsungs, and iPhones can all transfer eSIMs in between each other pretty seamlessly. I mean, I know there's still work to kink out, like you mentioned, if the phone's dead and stuff, trying to figure that kind of stuff out. But I'm seeing progress.
Yeah. I just hope it comes sooner than later, I can see us getting stuck in this kind of transition phase for, I don't know, the next few years. It's come a little ways since they've introduced it. It would just be interesting, what manufacturer do you think is going to go all eSIM? Well, technically Apple and or Google hasn't gone all in on eSIM, because their international models still have a SIM card slot.
Actually, the iPhone Air is eSIM only worldwide.
Well, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah, it is eSIM only, isn't it? It is. Damn, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, and a reason why I think also the U.S. models have millimeter wave, and they're using the space from removing the SIM card tray to have that. I know the international models have a SIM card tray.
Yep. Yeah, they sure do. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who goes all in next. I mean, dare I say Samsung, but boy, you want to see the internet explode in disgust and in hate. Wait till Samsung goes to eSIM only. People are going to lose their minds.
Yeah, I don't have a popular opinion. I'm not with the majority on this, but so I know what you're talking about.
Oh, people are gonna lose their minds, man. I tell you what. And I don't think it's gonna be Samsung. Just to put that out there, I think. I mean, and look, the Chinese brands, even they aren't like fully on board with eSIM. Right, eSIM is not that big of a thing in Asia. Is that correct? Is that what you've heard?
Yeah, that's correct. The iPhones in like China are dual physical SIM. They don't even have eSIM on their models.
Dang, I did not even realize that. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, so it's gonna be a while. 10 years might even be. I would say. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. 10 years I was going to say it might be pushing it, but maybe. I mean, we'll obviously have to wait and see. But if I had to make a guess on the next manufacturer that at least made eSIM mandatory for the United States, like Apple and like what Google has done, I'm probably gonna say Motorola, and that's just a wild guess. I have, I don't have any information, but I can see nothing maybe doing that.
Do you
But
do you think that they're going to keep the physical SIM card on the A series, on the Pixels?
maybe for a little while, but they'll probably do away with that here in the next year or two. Probably. It might be a slow transition to full eSIM on everything, but I haven't used a Pixel A phone in so long. I tell all my family outside of my wife and family here in the house, I just tell them to get A series, A series, A series. It's a really good phone, dependable phone, but man, Lord help my my parents or my grandparents if they tried to use the whole eSIM thing. I would obviously have to set it up, and I think that's kind of one of the snags that's kind of holding it back. I think the younger generation, I'm not sure if you have kids, but the kids nowadays are like they're on top of everything. So I think that it's not a big deal to them. In fact, I even asked my daughter, and she was like, she doesn't care. So I'm like, the new generation's okay with it. I think it's us that are middle aged that are stuck in the transition phase,
Yeah, personally, I believe that probably Samsung will copy because Apple, they've had a history of copying Apple with like removing the headphone jack, removing chargers from the blocks. Like they make fun of them and then they do the same thing. So personally, I see Samsung doing it first in the U.S.
Probably right. Man, that's gonna stir up a hornet's nest. Let's see here. Sci-fi fan 296 says, I'm late to the stream, but I'm glad to see it. Just traded my Pixel 6a for a Pixel 11 base model. I feel like it was a good deal that I couldn't refuse. Paid about $550 overall. That's a good price for the base Pixel, right? Please let me know if you have any issues with your device whatsoever, and stick around, comment, join our next live or two, and let me know. Do you have it right now, or you're waiting for it to get mailed? Please let us know. Oh yeah, you got an iPhone 13 mini as a secondary phone. That's a nice little secondary phone. But let's do this. No, I am not. I'm sorry. I certainly am not. Let's do this. Let's do a giveaway. It's rolling up to right around 8 o'clock. Let's do a giveaway right now. And Green 9227, I appreciate you joining me. If you want to, you be my guest if you want to get in on the giveaway. I'm going to take a minute to set it up, but we'll do a giveaway, and then we'll get out of here for the show. Jeff already knows. Hashtag gift. Go ahead, Green.
May I mention one thing before we do that?
Please.
So how do you see the Samsung phones and the Pixels phones holding up for 7 years as they promise 7 years of updates? How do you see if someone actually keeps a phone for that long?
I see you meaning like how long. You're asking if will it hold up and work as normal as advertised for the next 7 years?
Yeah, that's correct. Since they're promising 7 years of software updates, I'm curious of your thoughts of how you think the hardware will hold up in 7 years. I know a lot of people don't hold on their phones that long, but there will always be people that will hold their phones on longer than the average.
Right. I think it's a catch-22 because I think if they're gonna promise 7 years of updates, I think they need to include one free battery replacement, because I've had the longest I've held on to a phone, and this is years ago. I think it was like 5 years, and the battery was shot. Now I know that after like 3 years. Now I know the technology has gotten better, right? But you can't. The average lifespan of a battery is what I shouldn't say average lifespan, but the decline in battery life and or capacity rapidly decreases after about 4 to 5 years of normal usage. So I don't see how how Samsung and or Google is going to give you a software update for 7 years when the phone's essentially going to be unusable on a normal basis after year 5, maybe 6. So I think they need to include, I think with the sale, plus they've gotten so expensive, I honestly believe they need to somehow, some way include I don't know, one free battery replacement, and they can tie that to the IMEI and or serial number of the device in let's just say Samsung's, I don't know, they have some big database where they keep track of this stuff, right? Like I think that could be implemented, and I think we need to push for that somehow, some way. Not like they're going to listen to me, but I just don't see how. Yeah, 7 years sounds great, but hardly anybody's going to be using it if the battery's only going to last for a couple hours a day. Like, I don't know, but it kind of just it's kind of funny. Like, oh yeah, you're going to support it for 7 years, but it's only going to last maybe 5 or 6, 5 or 6, before it's just shot.
And one more thing, why do you see the U.S. phone manufacturers so slow on adopting silicon carbon batteries? The Chinese foldables and regular phones have been adopting it a lot quicker.
Yeah, I think there's something to do with. I think there's something more to it that is not easily noticeable from our eyes, meaning from us looking from the outside looking in. There has to be something from within the industry. I don't know if it's the lithium ion suppliers. I don't know if it's. I know there's a fire scare. There's certain warnings that it seems like they're not wanting to jump on board. Now I know sourcing it is another thing, sourcing the silicon carbon, and Samsung has created their own type of silicon carbon where it's much more accessible for Samsung to essentially manufacture this new type of battery instead of reaching out or trying to find a good supplier where they can have enough silicon carbon to make 80 million phones or whatever they sell. I think that's why. So I think it's like a multiple reasons why. Yeah, I like them. I know some people out there give them a bad rap, and you can find hit pieces. You can find articles out there that say they're no good, or traditional lithium ion is better. From my experience, I love them. I mean, I got a couple phones right here with the batteries, or 3 phones with them. So I like them, but I know making that transition is not so easy, especially here in the US market. And the other thing is, I don't know when it comes down to sourcing the material, when you're Samsung and you want to go and make a phone, manufacture a phone, there's little stuff that we're not privy to as far as, well, maybe the lithium ion, maybe the silicon carbon material is more expensive to make, or the sourcing that material just can't fit in their budget. You know what I'm saying? That might be, and I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there for an example. There's got to be 1 or 2 things that, we're not really knowledgeable about that's preventing the adoption. But on the other hand, in China, all those Chinese manufacturers have them in their phones. So it's like, well, maybe their source is a lot cheaper. I have no clue, but that's basically, all I can provide at this point. I don't know, but you bring up a good question. Let's see. All right, so everybody has hashtag gift. Sweet. Let me share this screen. Is it going to be sideways? Why the hell is it sideways?
I do want to say I appreciate you letting me on the stream.
For sure. Yeah, we're going to do this every weekend, every Saturday, Sunday. And for people out there listening and or watching, if you want to join as well, please be my guest. We're going to do this every Saturday, every Sunday. That's your time to come up and discuss technology. I want to make this a group thing, a community thing. That's why there's nothing like this in the tech world on YouTube. So I wanted to do everything tech YouTubers were not doing. You see what I'm saying? So there's hardly any live streams. I know there's one or two that do one every now and then, but I'm talking about like a live stream every day, a community, interactive, giveaways, all sorts of stuff. So you're certainly welcome, and you're more than welcome to join me next weekend as well. I'll try to be more diligent in regards to scheduling these in the future, so you can kind of, I know my schedule's all over the place. So I know not everybody's on my schedule. So I'll try to be more diligent about when I schedule these and to make sure that I start it on time. So yeah, you're certainly welcome. No problem at all. Let's see here. Yeah, and it sounds like you're pretty freaking knowledgeable in regards to the industry. So certainly bring that element to the show. So I do appreciate your input as well. Let's see here. Giveaway. Let me share this stream. Share this screen. Let's go right here. Okay, everybody got hashtag gift. Well, let's roll. Let's do this. I'm losing my voice too. I've been outside. Allergies are bad here, so my voice is going. It may be a good time to get up on out of here. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Good luck, everybody. Easy 1965. Congratulations to you. You are today's lucky winner. Happy Sunday to you. Email me, esimstudios@gmail.com. esimstudios@gmail.com. I'll get with you here shortly and get you your cash. And if you didn't win, please stay tuned. I try to do one or two of these a week. So it's certainly a weekly thing. I think we're the only, I'm not going to say only, that would be ill-advised. That would be misspeaking for me. We're not the only YouTube channel that does giveaways, but dare I say, nobody does giveaways as consistent. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Anyways, let me get out of here. My voice is going. A green 9227. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure to speak with you, and I hope you have a fantastic week. And you're certainly more than welcome to come on next weekend. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Take care, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.
Yeah.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, I'm on my way to a brand new kit.